Just set it up through. I did it ages ago.
This got it. It's been live streamed. Exciting.
I just got to check Facebook though.
Yeah, it's up. It's on Facebook.
It's on?
It surely is.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Oh, we are.
All right. How do I?
Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Welcome.
Working out the
Welcome. So maybe we'll just wait a minute or two and let people jump on. We've got two people
We've got
on.
two people on. Yep.
Say hi if you're on, and give us a hello and a wave, and give us some love.
Give
Give
us
us
some
some
love.
love in the
Yeah.
The little love emoji thing. What is it?
Yeah,
The
love
little-
emoji. Yes,
little-
I see. Oh, Nicole's giving
It's
us a
me.
love emoji. I thought it was someone else. But that's
Oh,
still
we got five on.
Good six. Good six.
So if you guys
We've got
are
eight.
joining,
We've got
yes,
8 people.
Oh my
We've got
God,
8
that's
people.
amazing.
we are
We've got
super
8 people.
excited to have you all with us tonight, and we have got some exciting announcements coming through. So if you are watching, make sure you say hello and tune in, because we are going to have an epic time together. We've just been chatting for the last 15 minutes, having a ball, talking about random things, but we're excited to share with you guys some magic tonight.
Absolutely.
Right, and now we're up to 10. So
Beautiful.
So just as we're waiting for more people to get on, if you didn't know, we have giveaways at the end. So we have for the first 3 people who sign up to the retreat from memory. If I've got it wrong, let me know, ladies and Rob. $150 off the retreat. You all get a session with each of us. So 4 sessions with 4 different coaches, amazing coaches, by the way, for the first 3 people who sign up to the retreat after this. And then the next, oh my God, we have 18 people on, by the way.
I know we do.
Hey guys,
Hey guys, we're so loving you
Just
all.
give us some love, give us some likes. And if you can, by the way, if you can do a share, it would be amazing. Then the next 5 people after that, I think it is, what's the discount, guys? 100?
it's
or
$100.
$100 discount. And you get a session with one of us. Doesn't matter who it is. Pick or
Pick
choose,
any of
doesn't
us,
matter.
yep.
So again, first 3 people that sign up to the retreat after get $150 off the retreat, plus a session with all 4 of us. Oh, and by the way, everyone gets Crystal's meditations. So everyone gets Crystal's meditations, and she's going to send you that, and you can keep that forever. So everyone gets that, whether you sign up or not. So you don't have to sign up to get that.
Did they have to do a specific comment? Was there a specific comment you wanted to say?
There is, but you got to get the comment at the end. Okay.
That's right.
So the comments at the end. 21 people. Oh my God. Are we feeling loved or what? This is-
Feeling the love. Give us the love. And we
Holy
got hey
shit.
guys, hey Melissa,
great.
hey
Guys.
Aaron, hey Braith,
That's
hey
great.
Sue, hey Scott. Welcome guys. Thanks for joining. Yes,
Beautiful,
we're getting lots of love
Oh,
hearts.
oh,
We
my
are.
Auntie, my auntie's on. Auntie Susan.
Beautiful.
Hey, Auntie Susan.
I love it.
All right, cool. So I might start it off with a bit of a spiel about myself, and then we'll go around and talk about ourselves just for a bit, just to see. A lot of people know me on my page. Some people might not actually know me and know what I do these days, but especially you 3, these amazing coaches. If you're on my page, you probably don't know them. So I'd love to get them to share who they are, how they got there, their magic, and explain that. So for those who don't know me, my name's Aaron. I'm an anxiety coach, and I became a coach about 5 years ago, basically because I sucked at emotions. I was never good at my emotions. They were my biggest bottleneck in life. I struggled. I went from relationship to relationship. I had massive anxiety in relationships, massive social anxiety. I had anxiety in pretty much every category you can think of. And it was my biggest pain. And like these guys will probably tell you with their stories as well, that pain forced me to learn about myself and took me down a path that I love. And I love learning about myself, and I continue to learn about myself. And I love the never-ending path of self-love and emotions and that rabbit hole. So I love bringing people along that line now. And that's my passion in life. That's all I love doing. I love learning about myself. I love learning everything I can about myself and the universe, and then bring people along that journey that might need my help. And that's where I got to this point. So I Yeah, thank
We
you.
have,
Well,
we have a question about the retreat details. So Chris has asked, what is the retreat details? So it's the 13th, 14th and 15th of May, and it's at Riverdale Spiritual Centre. So we can definitely PM you more details and more information as well. So if you are interested, either PM us or comment below interested, and we can like send you all the information through.
Yeah, and I'll add the link as well at the end. I'll add the event
Yeah.
link so people can contact us through that.
beautiful. All right. So maybe I'll go on my screen. It goes clockwise. I'll go clockwise. Maybe Crystal, then maybe Rob, and then Nicole.
Sounds
Maybe-
great.
Yeah.
Yep. So my name is Crystal Angwin. I'm a self-love embodiment coach. I help women with body positivity and self-love. I've been recently working with these two guys and doing like breath works and meditation at the beach. So working with men as well, which has been really beautiful to intertwine. So my story is quite a long one, so I'm going to try and do long story short. But essentially, I grew up feeling like I had was dealt a shorthand in life, that I was not good enough. I didn't look beautiful. I felt like I was ugly. I wasn't smart enough, and I was going nowhere in life. And I hit a really rocky period in my life, and I honestly didn't want to be here anymore. So after a few attempts and realizing I couldn't go through with it, I ended up binging on food and isolating myself and not really seeing any of my friends, not connecting with anyone. And after many, many years, I ended up putting on a bit of weight at the time, and I felt really, really low. I went to the change rooms, didn't fit into any clothes, cried, wiped tears away, and decided I need to do something about this. So I entered into a personal training relationship with a friend. She personal trained me, and I found my passion and love for fitness. Which led me into being a personal trainer myself, and then going into a bodybuilding competition. I stood on stage losing 45 kilos, becoming the tiniest I'd ever been, and I felt the worst. I felt not confident. I hated how I looked. I had so much anxiety around food and my body. I covered up my body, and I just fell into a hole. And I, after that point, ended up just binging on everything that I could. And within a short period of time, stacked on all the weight I'd lost plus more, becoming the heaviest I'd ever been. And from that point, I really realized that, well, losing the weight wasn't the answer to me feeling confident, to me feeling good enough, to me feeling like I was able to live my life and actually feel like I had a purpose on this earth. So I ended up finding out that, hey, it's actually in my mindset. The way that I relate to myself, how I look at myself, and what's in my mind is really the key to changing how I feel about myself. So I went into a big journey around mindset. I went into Reiki as well. And then I was at a Reiki master's retreat, and I looked in the mirror at the heaviest I'd ever been and said, if hating myself got me here, what would loving myself look like? And I dedicated myself ever since that point, which was 2015, to my self-love journey. And yeah, there's a huge journey about that part of the self-love journey, but essentially I found love for myself at the heaviest I've been, confidence, wearing a bikini in public, feeling free to be myself, to be able to do a live video like this. Yeah, there's so much that can be achieved with working on yourself and your mindset. So I'm so passionate about teaching others how they can change their life and create freedom and confidence and love who they are in their body and really celebrate that. So that's me.
Beautiful. Very well spoken. All right. And next is Rob.
It's going to be kind of pretty hard to top. That was actually beautiful.
That was great.
Thanks, guys.
That was
Thanks
great.
for the love.
I'm just sitting here just admiring how very different we are. Like, we all get along very well, and we all have a shitload of respect for each other, but we're all come from a very, very different approach to the way, we've gone from where we were to who we are today. Mine's a little bit different. Mine comes from loss. I lost a son over 20 years ago. And unfortunately, the part of having such a significant loss at such an early age, I was only 20 years old. I lacked the skills and knowledge in any area of life to be able to cope with that effectively in a good way. I spent basically 15, 20 years of my life building up my outer body, taking steroids, getting tattoos. When I look back and reflect on who I needed to become to survive that, the ego that I created was just protecting this hurt little boy that was just inside, that didn't know how to process all of that. I had no idea. It all come to a head about 5 years ago when I lost everything. I was an owner of a gym. I lost a gym, got divorced, lost a house, an investment property, Mercedes, had all the stuff that you would probably look at from a social proof of success perspective from the outside. A lot of people would have thought I was doing really well in life, but there had this undercurrent of stuff that I hadn't dealt with, and that, you know, used to rear its ugly head on a regular basis. And I decided at that stage, at rock bottom, that I would start to reach out for help. And the process started. So I went from doing some very, very basic courses all the way through to a master's in NLP, which I completed last year. I've always been a personal trainer. I've always prided myself in helping people. What I find I like more now is I can guide people through the process of, or seemingly feel like I'm the person that I needed when I was in a shit place and I didn't really have the skills or anyone in my reality to reach out to assist me to process that and move through that in a positive way. So I've just taken all the stuff that I, you know, needed to learn or that would have been useful at those early stages and have packaged them to become more of a men's and relationship coach, is what I tend to do these days. Also have a passion in photography, and I love that that takes up a lot of my time. I've chosen, I suppose, men to coach because they aren't as open as what women are to change. We kind of grow up with very absent fathers. Not absent, I wouldn't say absent, but absent emotionally. That's for sure. And it's a beautiful niche to sit in to help other men just balance out that ego from a place of being, you know, quite toxic to coming back to a balanced masculine. I actually really, really love it. I love working also in a relationship sense and being in a successful relationship now and knowing what that takes. It's beautiful, and it's a privilege to sit with two people who are disconnected and bring them back to a place of connection. It's a gift. And like I said, all I'm really doing is taking all of the modalities and all the stuff that I've learned over the years and just using them to assist other people so they don't have to feel and sit in a place where I had to sit all those years ago when my son passed away. So that's my story. Thank you for listening, and I'll pass you over to Nicole.
That was amazing, Rob.
Yeah, that was amazing, Rob. That's the first time I've heard it. So
Same.
Thank you.
beautiful. So my story is similar to these guys. You know, obviously I was in a place of despair. So I started looking, but it took me a really long time. I'm 41 years old, mother of 3, and I was addicted to ice, and it was, you know, smoking it every single day. It was bad, like going nuts, crawling around on the floor when there was no more, like losing my fucking mind. I'm so surprised I'm still a functioning human being now. And deep down, I just knew I wanted to get sober, and I had tried everything. It wasn't that I hadn't asked for help. I had kept it quite secret though, because so I do share this story quite passionately, because if anybody does need help, please ask for it. But I had gone to DASA, drug and alcohol counseling, psychologists, doctors, and nothing fucking worked. And I found this guy randomly who was a hypnotherapist, and I had no idea what it was. I was 33, and he looked at me across the room. He was obviously an energetic healer as well. And I literally felt tingles, and I thought, looking in his eyes, I was getting hypnotized. I probably was. But it was just amazing. I booked a session with him. He didn't know it was for drugs. I just said I wanted to quit smoking. And in that one session, I had the most profound shift in my soul, that knew that I had the strength to get sober. I could create my life with light and love and be with my kids, or I'd stay on the path that I was on and I'd end up fucking dead. So probably shouldn't swear. No, can I swear?
No,
I think
swear.
I can swear.
Fucking go for it.
We're all human.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
word. It's okay.
So for some reason I was like, live, am I allowed to? But
No,
I don't know.
no,
I don't know why
no.
my brain did that.
It might bleep out. Who cares? It's fine.
but yeah, so through all of that, through all the journey, I then started my own study, and I've been studying for the last 9 years, and I've got so many different modalities underneath, even my clinical hypnosis. And with that, though, it somehow downloaded into me how to work with kids. And if you can hear a crying baby in the background, sorry about that.
Here.
That's all right then. But yeah, my son's autistic, and every single modality I learned, whether it's energetic, hypno, timeline, it all kind of programmed into me to make a game with it with kids. And so for the last 8 years, just referral based, I work a lot with kids and their mothers through trauma, through behavioral issues, meltdowns, diagnosis, so autistic, and I just absolutely adore it. So I won't stop learning, but then I also, do work with adults as well, and, get to co-facilitate with this beautiful lady here. Crystal and I have been running events for the last year, and now I've met these amazing men who just make me feel so safe and loved as well. And I'm super excited that we now, with the 4 of our energies, really get to come to you with loads of wisdom. It's like 50 years here collectively. So
an amount of finances put into our own personal development would be like at least $500,000 or more.
probably, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Great stories. I love it. And hopefully you guys watching, you can realize that one of the amazing things about especially these 3 is not only are they knowledgeable and they know their shit, they've done all these modalities, but the thing that I believe is really important is lived experience. Like you just heard their stories. They've been to rock bottom. I've been there too. We've all 4 of us been at rock bottom, and we come out. We crawled out of there with the help of others, and that's really what I can probably speak on their behalf. That's really what we want to do at this retreat for others, is be that guiding hand for everyone else, because we've been there. We know what it's like to be in living fucking hell. We've all been there, and we don't want people to stay there. We know we've got tools to help people get out of there. And unfortunately, a lot of the mainstream stuff that people do isn't very, very effective. It can be beneficial, and it's a great first step, and it can help people in the beginning. But I know, for speaking to these guys too and myself, long term it wasn't very effective for myself and a lot of people I know, and it's because of the stuff they don't teach you, and they didn't get taught either. The stuff that we're going to teach you tonight as well, not just at the retreat, but we're going to teach you tonight on here. So with that, anyone on the live we've got a few people coming on now.
We had a few questions though, so I just want to reiterate, it is a co-ed retreat, so it's not couples. You don't have to come as a couple, male, female. There are a couple of beds that are for co-ed, but there's camping available. There's quite a few different options for the accommodation. So yeah, that's right. There's a couple of people coming on now. So if you're just joining, just know that at the end there's like a giveaway. So everyone gets a giveaway. There'll be a secret word you have to comment at the end to get it. So
stay tuned, essentially.
I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to get you to stay tuned. So you listen.
You get the benefits.
But I promise.
Yeah, and don't forget those first 5. Was it? No, 5.
First 3.
First 3 that sign up get the major prize, and the 5 after that get the minor prize. So
which we've never done before. Nicole and I've run 4 retreats together in the past. I've run multiple over the last 5-6 years. We've never done anything like this, so this is pretty special.
Yeah, the giveaways are worth what do we work it out to? 1,800 the first one or something? Or 1,400, and then so it's a lot.
So
let's go forward with maybe some teachings, and we're speaking about today, but
yes,
we want to teach you. We actually, whether you join our retreat or not, we want to give value. We want to teach some wisdom and help you. So we want to provide some value. So with that, I think it was it Rob or
Mr. Rob?
Rob,
Mr. Rob,
share your wisdom first. Yeah,
I think I'm up first.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Beautiful. I'm happy to step first cab off the rank. That's fine. I think I felt compelled to share about ownership. It's probably one of the biggest things for me. I suppose when we talked, the idea was to explain to people how we got, the logical steps from being at rock bottom to where we are today. And if we can help people just fill in the gaps, we're literally just holding their hand and walking them through a similar process, you know, and they're not alone. And I love that. The stage that I started at, that I don't think people get the grasp of, that I work with my clients with, is complete ownership. I think the moment that you can sit in your own pain and your own shit and say to yourself, I'm actually here because of the result of all the choices that I've made in my life up until now. And the only way for me to get out of that is to start making better choices. And it has to be as simple as that. I think people can stay stuck in victim mentality. They love the fact, like, I could have sat there and been like, my son's died, I got a chip on the shoulder for the rest of my life, and fuck you world, you owe me something. And I'll live like that for a very long time. It was only when I actually realized that I had the power to heal myself and move through that, that I was able to move from a place of pain to a place of power. I think it's easy to believe the world is against you and I've done something wrong, and that's the reason why that's happened to me. It's only coming through the pain to be where I am now that I can see that what happened to me, the world was actually happening for me. And I just couldn't see that when I was actually in my own pain. I can only see that now, that has actually helped create the person that I am today. I think people, if you come from that place and you can say that to yourself, this is not happening to me, this is happening for me. There's something that I need to learn here. This is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for lots of different things that will take me from where I am now to a higher place of consciousness and awareness. And I think we get to choose change, or the change will choose us. We can be cruising along, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden, bang, challenge. It will just like wipe you off your feet. I kind of just am quite okay with that now and realize the ebbs and flows of life, and that's going to be completely normal. And I'm able to respond to those challenges in such a beautiful way. Because of the skills that I now have that I didn't have before, when I was just reacting to things constantly. I remember in my first personal development course, the coach asked me 3 questions that were pivotal to me. It was, what happened to you? And I had to write what happened to me and told my whole story. The next question was, what did it do to me? Then I had to write about all the addiction, all the stuff, you know, go through all of that, losing the relationships, hitting rock bottom. You know, that's really what it did to me. That's the tragedy of it all. The question that got me at the end was, what am I going to do about it? No one had ever asked me that before. When I'd gone into psychologists and stuff like that, it was all talk therapy. Nothing had ever shifted any ownership over what had happened onto me. And that was quite confronting for them. What the fuck am I going to do about it? I don't need to fucking do anything about it. My fucking kid just died. Like, you know, and I was angry. And I just, you know, obviously I went out in the world like that and the world reacted back to me. It was the first time that someone had actually sat there and listened to everything that I'd said and were like, okay, so what the fuck are you going to do about it? And that was when it started. I was like, oh, I have to do something about it. I didn't do it on my own. Obviously, that was a part of a 10-week coaching program. And I just started. It was easy for me to sit and just blame, hate, and complain and walk around with a chip on my shoulder. By easy, I don't mean easy because my life wasn't easy. And I do say that to people. I'm like, choose your hard. It was hard for me to sit in that shit and be that person, you know, and it was hard to seek help and do the work necessary to be where I am now. But I can tell you the difference between that hard and this hard is chalk and cheese. So choose. You can sit where you are now and stay in victim mentality, and you might have, you know, what I like to call a secondary gain from getting the sympathy of other people and all the other stuff that's going on. You can sit there and your life, you know, will stay the same as, you know, and the same repeat patterns will keep happening to you. And that's hard. It's hard to stay stuck like that and the same shit happening on repeat over and over again. I know that. I've been there. Or it's hard to make the choice to take complete ownership over that. Reach out for help, because there's people out there that knew stuff that I didn't know. And by me going through all of that stuff now, all I have now is just extra skills and tools that I have to be able to navigate the challenges of life that I didn't have when my son passed away at 20. I just didn't have them. And they're not taught in school. They're not taught. If I rock up to my GP and say that I have mental health problems, it's not the tools that the GP has. It's not the tool that even psychologists have. You have to go out and seek these different modalities and find something that obviously works for you. I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I just wanted to land that there and say, look, that's the first logical step, is taking complete ownership, because you are where you are now because of all of the choices that you've made in life up until now. And the only way to move forwards is to start making better choices. And the best way, I think, to get that is to reach out for help to other people in your reality, or other coaches and people out there. It might not be us, it might be someone different, but reach out and be honest and say, I'm actually not doing that well in this particular area, and I need help from people that do. And you'll start to see that once you start thinking of life that way, and you start taking action, and you start working through your stuff, like I said, stay here is hard, work through that is hard. Please choose your hard.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
Love that.
That was really powerful, Rob.
Really good.
Would love to hear what you guys took away from Rob's share so far as we're going through the journey. If you would like to comment something you took away, it would be amazing to see in the chat.
Just a bit of technical difficulties, guys. Just a bit of technical
yeah.
difficulties. I don't know if your page is public, Aaron. Nobody on my page or Crystal's page can see it. And when I share it, it comes up content not available. Abby can't see it on hers either because she's not your friend. So everybody on our pages can't see this unless they're Aaron's friend.
Let's have a look.
Love that, Lex.
Oh, hang on. Yep, I've just changed it. My bad. All right. Okay. Ask her now.
You see it now?
Ask and you shall receive.
Tell her to refresh it.
This should be good. Thanks, Abby. Always the tech. Tech is
Yeah,
always
she
great.
can see it now. But
Yes.
yeah.
Love it.
Whoops. Lucky Abs is onto it.
Thanks,
She's like,
Abby.
people are.
Thanks, Abby.
Oh, she's like, you can hear it in the background. That's so good. She's look at that.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
guys. But loving that.
Is that
So,
ready?
Lux said, choose your hard. Love that. And then there's
And
been a few other comments. And yes, it will be on Aaron's Facebook, and you'll be able to watch the replay.
You'll be able to rewatch the replay, but hopefully some other people can jump on now because there's a few of my friends that wanted to, and I'm sure there's a few of others. So
Cool. You
there was
take
someone on
over,
Crystals.
Nicole. Over to
Pardon?
you.
There was a comment that I wanted to just address. So there was Lee Cohen. He wanted to know how do we get our names out there as coaches and build that trust? I'll just speak for myself quickly. I've been doing this work for 8 years. So, you know, I started off doing lives on Facebook, lives on Snapchats, talking about my life, talking about the downloads, talking about things that I've gone through, and just really putting it out there. That's how I did it. You know, I started off with one client and just, you know, kept training, kept learning, kept doing more and more courses. But, you know, by just being raw and real all the time, what you see is what you get with me. That's how I got my name out there as a coach. I started working with children, and then it was just referral based. You know, somebody sees how good you are with their kid, or, you know, you're a great coach for their particular thing, and you get referrals. So that's how I got my name out there. I don't know about you guys.
Same.
Yeah.
This is very, very much like we could go into all the weavings of it, but it's essentially just doing it, just starting.
Yeah.
That's what happened to start. Same as like what Rob just said, choose your hard. Sometimes it feels hard to start, but when you do start, you gain that momentum and things just happen.
Yeah, that's right. Just be authentic and do what you love. Whatever's on your heart, it always pays off in the end. So maybe could you just tell maybe the guys someone to tag you guys so like your friends can see it too? So maybe
Yeah, I'll
Abby
just
can
see if they
tag.
can see me now.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they should be able to see it now.
Should be able to see it.
Yeah, it's all coming up. I just tagged a couple of people in there. So
Beautiful.
those who are missing out can now get access.
Excellent.
Oh,
Beautiful.
yeah.
So whoever was next, I think it was
Me.
It's
It's
Nicole.
me. It's
Nicole.
me. It's me. I'm just tagging. Sorry. Let me get back into it. So for me, I just leading on with, from Rob's choose your heart and, and that real ownership, what kind of goes hand in hand with me with that and my kind of concept of it is vulnerability. And the reason that I tell my story and as like all of you is because I want to create that safe space for people to know that they can talk about whatever it is they're going through, whether it is depression, anxiety, addiction, having trouble being a parent, death, infidelity, like whatever it is that you're going through, that is your thing, like being really vulnerable with that because, you can't fix it by yourself. You can try and try and try, but whatever's going on the inside, you need to find that guide. And there are thousands of us coaches out there, ready to lead. So by asking for that help and having that vulnerability, it was honestly, hand on my heart, the hardest thing. I kept my addiction to myself for so many years. There was a few people that knew. I went to the doctors by myself. I went to a psychologist who didn't have much life skills, unfortunately. She literally, I saw her jaw drop. She's like, I don't think I can help you. I went to drug and alcohol counseling and nothing worked. The biggest thing, I think one of the turning points apart from the hypnotherapy was I owned my shit. I told my mum, which was a really hard thing to do, and said, I need help. Like I can't hide this anymore. And by that, a weight lifted. And I see it with my clients too, when they come in and they tell you something that they haven't told anyone else before, or they've had a really hard time struggling with, being able to voice it, asking for help, having that vulnerability creates such an epic learning. And as soon as you do that, as soon as you put it to the universe, God, whatever you want to talk about, unconsciously you start fixing it as well. It starts becoming a part of the thing that you're not hiding anymore. You're not blocking whatever that emotion is, whatever that feeling or that situation that you're going through. As soon as you actually put it out there and say, I actually want help with this, I want healing, I want to get through this, every part of your energy starts that process, regardless of whether you've got a coach or not. So by being vulnerable, that is for me the first point, because if you can actually, like Rob said, your ownership, but be vulnerable in that and say, actually, I do need the help. This is going on, whatever else, or I'm having these dark thoughts or whatever that is, then the world will start opening up and you can find somebody that can help be your guide through that. And I make it such a good conversation. Doesn't matter who I'm talking to. Doesn't matter if I'm playing with a 2-year-old. I'll talk about, probably not a 2-year-old, maybe a 4-year-old, but playing with them, we talk about toys and different games. But in talking to an adult, I can talk about my drug addiction. There's so many different ways that you can be vulnerable in different processes, and showing, for me, showing kids to own up and be vulnerable and ask for help is a really big deal. As a parent, I have to ask them, if you're not showing up and showing your kid to do that as well, be vulnerable and ask for help, then your kid's not going to do it either. So it's so important at all the ages to be really vulnerable and ask. And then that's when the help comes in. That's when the lessons, that's when the growth and all the other things in your universe really start changing. So finding those places, and it doesn't have to be to everybody. You don't have to be asking, telling everybody your stuff, finding those safe places where you can really be real. And that's why I love these guys, because we've created that. We've got this, community of like-minded people. We do it at our ice baths. We do it at our meditations. We genuinely, authentically connect. We go past the surface layer of how's the weather, how's your job, what's really fucking going on. My heart's heavy today, man. Like I need to cry, or whatever it is that's coming up. That's where the gold is. And so being really vulnerable, instead of having all this surface layer stuff going on, digging deep. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And that's where these authentic connections come into it. And that's what we, want to do more of. And obviously with this retreat, we're going to have an amazing community of people that are going to be vulnerable and have this safe space and have the ownership, and then the other stuff that these guys are going to talk about as well. And that's where the fucking power is. You know, that's where the memories, the creation, the love, the connection is. And I know if any of you watching this, that's the reason you're watching it. You want that connection. You want, you know, this kind of that feeling.
Yeah, perfect. Beautiful.
That hit home. Love it. So following on from that, I feel like the points that we've talked about so far, especially with Rob and Nicole, taking ownership and sharing vulnerability is huge. And I know that I can speak for all of us when we say that every point that we're bringing in is each individually we have utilized. They all play a part in this journey. And, you know, just hearing what Rob said and just like landing home for me, and then hearing what Nicole said, and I know part of what Aaron's going to say, and obviously magic's going to get woven through, but it is the key in changing your life. So far, everything that's been said is a massive reason as to why I changed my life. Taking that ownership and being vulnerable and asking for help, even when it was really hard. And when Nicole was just talking, I just had moments of flashbacks of my own vulnerability and going like, I'm not okay. Like I was in the middle of like binge eating on a kilo of Nutella, crying while, you know, watching TV and hiding all my food, hiding everything I was doing. Absolutely. Like, everyone would ask me, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. And really on the inside, I was not okay. I did not know where to go. And I felt like nobody could really hold me. Like nobody could receive my truth and not try and fix it. They just couldn't really deal with, in my mind, what I was, I guess, experiencing. So going into places like different retreats, having different coaches, having spaces where people had gone through their emotions and were able to take ownership, were vulnerable, and were taking action, which is what I'm going to talk about, was really inspiring to me, because I just felt like every single day I was just empty. I was trying to change my life, nothing really stuck. And I felt lost. I felt like I was in a sinking hole. So when I actually found my people, I suppose, people that really saw me, that had space for me, that were able to just share vulnerably what was going on and taking ownership of their stuff and being able to create changes in their life, it inspired me to take action and really show up for myself. Because before I was just trying to do things, but as soon as it didn't work and I would spend like a week or a day or 2 days trying to do it, it never really changed for me. It wasn't until I went to a retreat and I was literally put into a space of like a new environment that I could experience myself in a new way. And that took a lot of guts for me, because I was very scared about doing new things, meeting new people, being seen in my stuff, like my emotions, my thoughts, telling people that I was, you know, binge eating, that I hated who I was, I didn't want to be here on this world. It was just so scary for me. But when I took action and actually committed to what was true for me, like, I need help. I cannot keep going down this way. I already know what my life has looked like. It continues down this path. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So I had to take action. And one of the biggest keys that I had at the start was feel the fear, do it anyway. Because I used to get so wrapped up in fear that I was like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not a person who can do a live video. I'm not a person who can fly by myself to a retreat and meet a whole bunch of new people and be vulnerable and take ownership for myself. I'm not that person. I don't know how to do that. It's scary. It's intimidating. I don't have that kind of money. And let me tell you, when I first started, I had no idea how I was going to pay for anything. I had no idea how I was going to get there. And I still was scared shitless around doing it. But I said, if nothing is going to change, then I'm still going to be in the same place a year from now. And every year I'd say, every New Year's, I'm like, I'm going to change, I'm going to change, I'm going to change. Nothing changed. And when I felt the fear and I said, if I don't feel this and still show up and do this because I deserve to be able to change my life, I deserve to be able to heal my relationship with myself. If I don't do this now, it's never going to happen. So there's no like time, there's no amount of money. It's all here available to me now. And as soon as I did that, the funds came. My energy, my confidence got boosted because I was putting time and energy into myself, because I was taking action on what I knew that I needed to change in my life. I wasn't just letting every day go by going like, oh, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe it's this next thing. I was putting in the time, energy, and effort for myself and putting the finances towards what I wanted to create for myself in my future. I was living as a future self now, not knowing how it was going to happen, but I just showed up. And when I I said to myself, every time I'd feel the fear, I would say, feel the fear, do it anyway. And the cave I fear to enter holds the treasures I seek. And I was so scared every single time. I didn't even realize that I was actually blocking myself. I always had the funds. I could make it work. If I wanted a shoes or a handbag or a new hairdo or nails, I'd find the money. But when it came to myself, I'd always say I didn't have the money. I didn't have the time. I didn't have like anything that would really kind of give me that green light to say that I'm going to go all in on myself. But I really had to decide in myself that this is where I need to be, because I know that there's something in that cave for me that is the treasures that I'm actually seeking in my life. If I don't show up now, then I'm not going to get where I want to go in my life, because I keep holding myself back and playing small, because I'm deep down scared that it may not change. It may not change my life. It may not work. And each time that I did lean into my uncomfortable zone or my fear and take action and show up for myself, I found a gold. I found a piece of myself. I reclaimed myself. I started healing myself. I started feeling more free, more confident, more loving towards myself. And connections with my friends and family just became more open, more loving, and more, I guess, like the thought that I felt as a kid was, I wish that I could be received by people like these beautiful people and others in my life, where I could be myself and be my authentic self and just feel super comfortable and have fun and just feel free. And I didn't know that I could feel that. But every time that I went to an experience, I was held in a retreat, I found people that were really able to receive me. And so for me, feeling the fear, doing it anyway, and just taking that action and going into that cave, even though I was scared, I didn't even know if it was going to work. And I was scared that maybe I really wasn't worthy. Maybe I was never going to be good enough. Maybe I was never going to be smart enough. Maybe I wouldn't get it. Maybe I'm just going to live like this forever. And I was scared of that. But each time I went to a retreat, I'm not even joking, it was like I came home a different person, and I could really bring and weave the tools that I'd learned into my life. And everything that I'm sharing now changed my life. And I'm not even, like, no word of a joke, saying that if you are like desiring to come and be a part of this experience, it will change your life too. In just a couple of days, you'll walk out feeling revived, refreshed, and energized in a way that you probably haven't experienced before, and more connected to people on a deeper level than maybe you've never experienced before. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing, like, taking action, because if you're here watching this and you are interested in this, there's a reason. There's a part of you that wants to show up for yourself. And we as coaches know that being a part of this container is what you're actually seeking. So just wanted to say, take action, come see us at the retreat, because it is going to be amazing. And each time I know that for myself, I've gone and done something for me, it has changed my life. Something has healed. I felt more myself. I felt more loving and connected to my emotions, and changed the way I viewed myself. So that is it from me. But take action, guys. Feel the fear, do it anyway.
Love that.
Love it.
I was getting flashbacks when you were talking about that. My first event was it was $2,500. And I remember thinking, this guy's a fucking scam. Like, this guy's a fucking scam. And I was like, I'm not going to that fucking event. And I remember it was like a week before, and I was like, you know what? I was struggling, and I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. He's probably, if I get scammed, I get scammed. And that set me off on my path. So I'm so glad, like you just said, like, I felt the fear. I remember shaking.
Yes, me too.
I was on the phone, paying for it, going, what am I doing? I was shaking, but thank fuck, because I wouldn't be here as a coach. That was the first event that set me on my path. So yeah, that was perfect. That brought me back memories.
Oh, thanks, Aaron. And I remember signing up to 20K program, and I didn't even have 20K in my bank. I was on Centrelink, and I was like, that's all my money. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But then it changed my life, and everything just fell into place. I didn't know how I was going to make it work, but it just happened, and I came up with 20 grand.
Yeah. I had no money. I was a PT. I was a pretty average PT at the time as well. So I wasn't making much money. And like you said, like, you just make it work. And that's the way it works.
Same with me. I had no money. My mum was taking over my finances. I had admitted I was a drug addict. I had to pay back money to the mortgage because we nearly lost our house. And I was like, Mum, I'm doing this course. It was like $5,000. And my mum's like, how are you going to do it? And I'm like, I just have to, Mum. I'm telling you now, I have to learn hypnotherapy. I have to do it. And the money came. Like, I honestly had no idea either. But I did it. Same thing. You just taking that action.
I've got a theory on why that happens, and this is a good segue into what I want to talk about, which is self-love. So all three of these guys have spoke about amazing things, and I went through all three of those things. You know, like Rob said, you could basically take responsibility for your life and what you're feeling and what's going on, vulnerability, and just taking action towards something you know you need to do, even if you got fear, like Crystal said. And all three of those things, really, when you dig down, is an act of self-love. Because if you don't do those things, you go down a rabbit hole that's dark and deep and you can't get out of it, because of lack of self-love. And I realized every time I struggled in life, every time I was in a deep, dark hole or I was rock bottom, it was because I wasn't taking care of myself. It was a lack of self-love, and the actions of the lack of self-love led me down a deep, dark hole, which I'm really grateful I went down those dark holes, because that woke me up to go to the events where I was scared to go and seek help from mentors. It forced me out of my comfort zone to dig deep, and learn about myself. And really, it comes back down to learning how to love those parts of ourselves that maybe you didn't get taught how to love. Maybe you didn't get taught how to love those parts of yourself that you feel are unworthy. Those parts of yourself, maybe you grew up overweight like me, and I thought being overweight was the worst thing in the world. I hated myself growing up. I hated that part of myself. I didn't like myself. That's why I went into these dark holes. So really, this retreat and everything I've ever learned over the last 5 years going deep into this stuff always comes back to one thing: how well can you love yourself? And sometimes loving yourself is being hard on yourself. And loving yourself isn't always love and light. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it can be taking responsibility for maybe actions that are putting you down a deep, dark hole, like allowing certain people into your life that you keep allowing. Maybe it is you're eating too much junk food, and that is an act of self-love to stop doing that. Maybe it's going to get a massage. Maybe it's about doing some inner child work, where you go back to your childhood and love that little boy or girl who felt unacceptable, who felt disgusting. There's so many different ways, and this is why I love these three guys, is we all have modalities, and it all teaches us to get back to ourselves, to love that part of ourselves, and that's how you heal. Because healing is bringing in all parts of ourselves. When we try to get rid of parts of ourselves, we're fragmenting from ourselves, and we're not really doing ourselves any favors in the long term. Because at the end of the day, all four of us are coaches, and I know I've had the coaches imposter syndrome in a few years ago. I remember when I started, and I was like, because at that time I thought I had to be a certain person to be a coach. I thought I couldn't have anxiety. I thought I couldn't have down days. I thought I couldn't be sad. I thought I had to be strong all the time. And that's not fucking true. We're all humans. And this is why I love these guys, is because we're real. We do have down days, and that's okay. That's okay. The problem is most people don't know how to deal with that. Most people are talking shit to themselves when they're down, or they're struggling, or they're overweight, or they haven't got the finances, or they haven't got the relationship. They're talking shit to themselves. And this is my theory on the money you were talking about before, Nicole and Crystal, is when I went to that first event, what am I putting out to the universe? I'm putting out that I don't give a fuck what I have to do. I'm going to work on myself. I'm putting out to the universe, that's an act of self-love. And that's why I believe I always found money when I was broke to do things that gave me self-love.
Yes.
And people say, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the money for things. But that's bullshit, because you're telling the universe you don't matter.
Yeah.
You don't matter. Everyone else matters. This is what I did for years. Everyone else matters but me. I took care of everyone else. No wonder I spent a lot of years with anxiety and struggling and in deep, dark holes that I couldn't get out of. No fucking wonder. I never took care of myself. Everyone come first. So this will probably go into the next thing, which is the retreat, which is you need to understand that at some point, you got to get the message that you come first. Yeah. And the excuses and the fears have to come second, because they're going to be there. And that's absolutely fine. We've all been there. But something deep inside of you will tell you, I need to do something. I need to do something about this. And this is the calling. I'm telling it straight to your soul. Yes, you do need to do something. You do have fear, like Crystal said. You do have some things that you probably have to work on that is scary, like Rob said, and own some things and be vulnerable. But you're going to have people who have been there, walked through that path. So we get the fears. We understand the nerves. We understand the anxiety. We understand the excuses. We it's all welcome. But do yourself a favor. Listen to your soul. It's telling you to do something about it. It's telling you, don't give in to not listening to it. Because if you do give in, if you don't give in to your soul what it wants, I can promise one thing, and this is probably not a nice thing to know, you won't get out of it. I don't know. I wouldn't have got out of it. My clients wouldn't have got out of it. The people I've been around, you got to listen to that soul calling. And sometimes that is joining a community, reaching out for help, whatever it is, listen to it, even if it's scary. And that's an act of self-love. All right.
I love that so much. That was powerful. So good, Aaron.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for that.
That's all right.
So we're talking about the retreat, are we? That was the last part,
let's
right?
talk about the
So
retreat.
Yes.
Talk about
I'll
it.
give
Let's talk about
one
it.
of these three guys because they're amazing.
Yes.
Talking about the retreat.
I love the retreats. Nicole, I feel like you're jumping out of your seat. So I'm just going to
Go on,
hand
Nicole.
it over to you. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Well, so collectively we have put together an epic retreat. So number one, it is the 14th, 15th, 16th. Is that right? I've got those dates right.
13th, 14th, 15th.
Friday,
Is that?
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
13th, 14th, 15th of May. I have put the link underneath, which has got the event page on it. So it's a Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. It's at the beautiful Riverdale Spiritual Centre, which is just out Hewitt here. So just on the cusp of Gawler. So northern east suburbs, if you guys don't know. So in South Australia. Australia. Yep. In South Australia. The property is just so beautiful. It's like country. As soon as you walk on those grounds, it's healing. It's a collectively owned communal property. So it's been used for over 30 years for spiritual healing. So you feel the energy as soon as you walk on it. So the facilities are amazing. We've got a few different options for you guys as well. So there's a couple of deluxe rooms in the superior accommodation. There's a bunkhouse where you can share either top or bottom bunk. Top bunks are a bit cheaper. And then we've also got a camping option as well. So you can bring your van or your caravan and you can camp as well. So there's plenty of room for you guys. We have an amazing chef that's going to work for us. And obviously you get us 4 amazing co-hosts, plus our helpers that'll be there as well, and a photographer. So we've got everything covered. And within this 2.5 days, we are going to cover as much as we can. Like we literally worked on it today. We are going to jam pack it with so much love and healing and different modalities to help you get through your stuff. There's going to be some masculine, some feminine. You're going to work with Crystal and I. You're going to work with Rob and Aaron. You're going to switch. There are going to be some beautiful connective exercises. I don't really want to give too much away because there might be some surprises in there for you as well. It's fully catered apart from one night where we all do go out for dinner. So the only thing you need to bring is like $30 with you so you can go out for dinner with us on the Saturday night. The rest of it is fully supplied, catered for, resources, gifts, everything is there. And seriously, the one thing that every single one of our women, because we've held women retreats, so I'm super excited to have the co-ed one, but every single woman that we've had from our retreats have said, I was super nervous to come, but I've made lifetime friends and it's changed me. Like if you're looking for connection, if you're stuck, if you're just like whatever it is, if you've got like Crystal said, I think we've all said it, but if you're seeing this, there's a reason for it. And it is just such a beautiful connective energy when you all step out of your comfort zone and you're held in such a loving, nurturing space with us 4 epic coaches, if I don't say so myself, held by us. It is going to be, it seriously is going to be amazing. And
it is going to be amazing.
Have I forgot anything, Crystal?
There's a couple of things I'd like to add because we just did a self-love retreat last weekend. Fortnight, was it last week? No, last weekend. I can't even remember.
Yeah, last weekend.
It was last weekend.
Oh.
So we had a retreat with the girls. It's called a self-love retreat, and it's the same place. And when everybody walked in, they were feeling, low, bit disjointed, overwhelmed with their life, feeling lack of love and connection to themselves. By Sunday, they went from looking very low to glowing from the inside out. Their eyes were sparkling. They felt connected to themselves. They felt calm. Some of them have even described like having solutions. On the Saturday, we went through an experience, which is going to be similar to the Saturday we're going to experience, just different. But they had epiphanies and downloads that came from themselves that were like, this has just changed my life. I've just downloaded this. I felt this. And now I feel completely different towards my life. I feel so grateful for myself. And I actually feel love towards myself. Some of them even looked in the mirror and felt love and felt sexy for the first time in their entire life. Like, it's no word of a lie that this retreat is going to change your life, because it's not just me and Nicole doing it. There's two amazing men that are going to be your beautiful coaches as well, that are going to weave in their magic into the space. So it is going to be next level. And
next level, for
yeah,
sure.
next level. And everything that you experience at the retreat is just, it's just so loving, so nourishing, and you just feel so held by every single person, including the people who are attending as well. And we just want you to experience that. We want you to experience that depth of love with yourself, that depth of love with another, and to be able to weave that into your life so you can feel fulfilled from the inside out. So that's what I wanted to add for that.
And I might just add too, so who it's for, some things that typically this retreat will be good. Just choking on my saliva. This retreat will be good for those struggling with anxiety. So maybe it's relationship anxiety, maybe it's just general anxiety, maybe you're a bit low and down, maybe you've been a bit depressed lately, maybe you're feeling lost. I know us three coaches, or us four, sorry, you three coaches would also get this, but people come to us when they're really lost and they don't know what's going on in life, and they've hit a bit of a intersection in life. They don't know what to do. Maybe they're in a relationship and they don't know if they want to be in it or not. Maybe they're in a career, they don't know if they want to, what they want to do there. So normally people are lost, confused, anxious, just unsure about life, and just typically struggling just in one way or another. So whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, because our modality is going to cover all that kind of stuff. It all comes back to similar stuff. So don't think just because you're struggling and you can't put on a happy face to not come. You're probably the best one to come, because we've been there. We want to help you through that struggle. So if you guys want to add anything to that, just wanted to...
Yeah, I love it. We had a question about, do you have to stay at the venue in the evening to sleep? Yes. The reason why we do that is so that you can be out of your usual environment and in a completely new environment, so you can experience yourself in a different way. When you're around your similar environment or your similar surroundings, you just play out the same thoughts, the same feelings, the same experiences in your own mind. So if you come to the retreat and you go home, it's going to feel a little disjointed, or feel a little bit more like coming back into your reality without actually having the full immersion, because it's immersing yourself in a new experience, in your connection with yourself, and in a really loving container, so that you can embody these feelings and embody the change that you want to seek, so you can go home and integrate that. Because if you just come and then go and then come and then go, what that can do is just like disjoint the energy a little bit, because then you're going to have to reground, recenter into the space, into yourself, and have that like activation of the embodiment of self-love, or the embodiment of, whatever it is that you're healing or releasing emotionally and mentally. It's really wanting to be cultivated in the entire experience from the start to finish, because if you go home, it's essentially like rewiring your nervous system, and then going home and then picking up everything that you've just put down, and then coming back and trying to rewire it again, and then picking up everything you put down. So the whole point is for you to get a complete transformation from start to finish, and experience yourself in a way that you haven't experienced yourself in your usual surroundings.
Yeah, well explained.
Thanks, guys.
Well explained. Also, maybe just I wanted to say, Rob, were you going to say something?
I just wanted to add some stuff for men. I'm not sure how many men.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, perfect.
How many people are on there, but obviously when you and I started, Aaron, like 5 years ago, I was pretty much the only dude at the event, with another, full hippie dude. And it was like,
true.
That space wasn't real inviting. There was no footy dudes there. There was no people that I'd probably was able to relate to. And that has changed. I suppose we live in a really cool space at the moment where everything is changing. Like, there's no gender roles in relationships. The roles for male and female are completely gone. I mean, that can make you feel a little bit lost, but I want you, especially the men, to start to get excited, because like you get to create this new version of you, both for yourself and for others and within a relationship. And you get to design what that relationship looks like in the year 2022. And that's such a fucking cool space to be. Like, it's awesome to be lost. So if you're sitting there going, shit, am I the only dude that's going to turn up to this? Maybe. I don't know. I was. And I know that now when I turn up to events, I've been to events that are predominantly men now. Like, and I've had lots of masculine energy, which I needed at the time, because I actually needed to be quite like hard on myself and like push through some of the work. And then I've gone to other retreats that are full of beautiful women, because I needed that healing, like feminine energy around me to be, and it was just perfect. So whatever this is going to be will be perfect for you. When you come in, it just will be. So I wanted to commend you if you are thinking as a man. I know it's difficult as a woman as well, but I just wanted to honor any men out there and just say, hey, you know, it's going to be a beautiful space. The reason we've chosen to be co-ed is so we can offer you both that masculine and feminine energy. And together, that's super powerful.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have an amazing weekend. Yeah.
I was going to add the same thing, Rob. Yeah, perfect.
I just want to flow on from that. And the reason that I am so passionate, and the reason that Crystal and I both wanted to team up with Aaron and Rob, is because they are beautiful, evolved, safe, masculine energies leading the fucking way on showing men how to show up. And Crystal and I both feel safe with them. And so if you're a woman as well going, fuck, I don't know if I really want to be around, you know, masculine energy, the men that come to this retreat are wanting to level up, are wanting to, you know, to be inspired by men that are leading the way like this, that are learning through their shit, that are putting it out there, that are going into their feminine sides as well. And so on the reverse, you know, if you're a woman thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to go to a co-ed retreat, yes, you fucking do, because these guys are worth fucking meeting, and so are the men that you're going to meet on the retreat as well. And the same for the men as well. You're like, I don't know if I want to be around. Yes, you do, because you want to meet some beautiful women that inspire you as well, and can show you how to show up and how to, you know, work better in your relationships and that type of thing. So that's why we're going to work so well together. So if there's either side, it's going to be amazing.
I love it. I'm going to add into that. That's amazing. Yes, I want to add, because in terms of like what Nicole said about these two beautiful men being such safe masculine energies to just really feel like you can let your walls down and be seen as a woman, is really beautiful. Because in terms of like my journey, every time I was around masculine energy, I would feel that fear. I'd feel like I was being judged. I felt like my body was going to be like, you know, judged, and like whatever it was that was going on in my mind. But essentially I would just try and go like, these people are safe. It's okay for me to let down my walls, for me to just be me. And each time I was around really healing, loving masculine men, it just changed the way that I saw men in general. Because before that, I just felt like they were just wanting one thing, that they were horrible, that they just, you know, didn't give a shit, they weren't emotional, you know, blah, blah, blah. I had lots of stories going on in my head. But when I was in those spaces, it really not only allowed me to see that there's a different way that masculine, like, men can show up, it also gave me that permission to really let go of those stories of men, and also let go of the stories of me around men, and to realize that I can just be myself regardless of what gender, and that I'm still loved, that I'm still seen, that I'm still heard, that I'm still received. And it's actually a really beautiful healing way. And I think one of the biggest healing parts is me being around men and being in my most vulnerable in some of the places that I wouldn't want to be seen in around men. And still looking at their eyes and seeing such depth of love, and such like a space where they're like, I've got you and I'm holding you through this. And it just completely melted everything for me. So like it's bringing so much like love and tears to my eyes thinking about all the moments. But these men are so phenomenal at what they do, and Nicole and I are so blessed to have them come into this space and for us to all create this together, because both masculine and feminine are really needed for that whole round wellness of healing. So yeah,
it's beautiful. Appreciate the kind words, by the way.
I'll also, thank you, ladies, like, it's just, you know, that's beautiful, because it's it's teaching me also that I can have relationships with females that don't have to have any kind of sexual connotation or anything like that too.
Yeah.
It's actually like nice and it's beautiful, like what we have as a collective. I want that for everyone because I'm able to get a beautiful feminine perspective and I'm able to get a very firm masculine perspective, you know, like from the people that are around me. And I think that's a massive thing for me, is that I went down all of those places because of my circle of influence. It's huge. Putting yourself into these places and the people that you will meet, that will become your new norm of conversations that you will start to have, will change your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It gives you that perfect balance. So I can't wait. I'm like never been more excited about like anything, not for a very long time.
Same. Well, I mean, I've been excited about things, but I'm exceptionally excited for this.
If my fiance is watching, I'm definitely more excited about our wedding next year. But
Good save, Rob. Good save.
Yeah, I just one thing, I agree with Rob as well, and also it's very, very, very important to have the community around you, people that are safe. And like these guys are saying, and especially in our little friendship with us four, is like Rob was saying, it's so nice to feel safe with the feminine, and also Rob as well. A masculine to masculine is very something that I never had growing up. I had a great dad, obviously, but my friendship circles, obviously, you know, were a little bit toxic in ways, and I didn't have that safety net with a male. So it's actually gone both ways with the feminine, with Crystal and Nicole, and being around these circles that we're involved in now, that we've created, is very healing for me. And it goes both ways, not just feminine, but with a healthy masculine that we're around. And man to man and man to female. It's been very healing. And also I've been talking to people in our community and they're saying how much they're healing just being in the community alone. We haven't even done 2-day retreats for them. It's just been an hour once a week. You know what I mean? Imagine 2.5 days when we're immersed in it.
So interesting. So I just can't wait. It's seriously going to be good.
Yeah.
So are we...
Let's do it. The prizes reminder.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Right.
Let's do the prizes. Let's do the prizes. Who's coming? Right. Who's going to be the first 3? I'm so excited. Like, who is going to do it and get that bonus? So for those of you who haven't, you know, it jumped on at the end, we've got like 28 people. I think it was like last count. You are going to get the first 3 that sign up, get $150 off our retreat, plus a session with each of us. So that's 4 whole coaching sessions, which is valued at over $1,300 just in that. Plus you get the $150 off, plus you get Crystal's beautiful self-love meditation. That's fucking huge. So I can't wait to see who those first 3 people are. I know they're going to get snapped up. And then what was the Aaron, what was the for the 5 others
off?
The next 5, what was it, Crystal?
It was $100 off, and then it was 1 coaching session with you choose whoever it is.
And we're fine with whoever you pick. We're there's no competition here. We just want you to get the help.
We just want you to get the help. Exactly. Yeah.
So what's the word? What's the word, Aaron? What's the secret word?
Okay, secret word is let's just say prize. All right, it's prize. Right, so comment prize. And comment prize. And we'll get back to you after this. And the first who actually puts the deposit down actually want to join. By the way, we're not into like hard sales and that. If you're called to join, just join. We're not going to sit there and fucking, you know, do sales objections and all that kind of stuff. If you're drawn to it, you're drawn to it. If you're not, you're
questions. You can email. There's a few people that said they're interested, so you guys will get back to you, or you're more than welcome to inbox us personally, and we can message you. But like we said, it's the first 3 who sign up and join that get the major prize, and then the next 5 after that get the is it minor prize, and then everybody gets it is a breathwork audio. Self-love meditation and a journaling like ebook for you to do, which is called the self-love practice, and essentially you can do that daily, and it is really powerful. It's some of the tools that helped me love myself and my body just as I am, no matter what shape or size, and no matter the circumstances of my life. So I've woven that into a practice that you guys get for free. It's usually $40. So everybody on this call, if you comment prize, you'll get that for free. And if you're interested in the retreat, you're more than welcome to inbox any of us, even just comment below interested, and we can just pop you like a message or whatever.
Yeah. So I've put the link in there, guys. Do you guys want me to put the the prices in there underneath this live, or they just got to message us?
Yeah, whatever. If
Whatever
they
you wanna
want it,
do.
that's fine.
Mm.
Melissa said, Aaron, send me the fucking bank details, mate. I'm there.
Yes, Melissa.
Yes,
Taking
yes,
some massive
Melissa.
action.
That is
That's funny.
epic. Epic. And we've already got people
I
messaging
need a party
prize.
popper.
We
Where's
do.
the party popper?
We've already got
So-
people messaging prize. So we just need to know if that's like signing up for the retreat, or they just, what you let us
The
know.
prize
Yeah.
is the if they comment prize, and they just get the self-love practice, and if they comment interested,
Okay.
then we can message them about the retreat.
Yeah.
Prize,
Yeah.
self-love practice,
Yeah.
interested, retreat.
Yeah.
I wanted to also add, like, if people wanted to like share the live, obviously,
Yeah.
you know, if it's not particularly for you, that's fine. If it is for you and you're excited and you'd like to bring like a friend, because I know for me, when I went and I knew a couple people there, that made it a little bit easier. Let's be honest. If there was someone in your reality that knows, they might not be watching this, but you're sitting there thinking this would be perfect for them, please, like, help them basically by like sharing that for them and get them in contact with us, and we can sort everything out like on the other side. It just gets it out a little bit more, and we get to have a bigger impact. The whole idea of calling it ripple effect is exactly that. It's like a little droplet in the ocean, and just see, how far that can travel. I know, for my coaches and the people that influence my life, they wouldn't even know the profound effects of not only healing me, but healing everyone in my reality, my relationships with everybody, the way I respond to everyone now rather than react. That how far that goes out is almost immeasurable.
Yeah.
How big a change.
Well, Rob, I've heard plenty of people say that about you, because I knew of you before all your work, and I have a lot of people that say how much you have changed. I can be evidence of that, of seeing it, and also people saying it as well about you, which is your ripple effect.
Yeah.
And in a sense, we all are, and and that's what we want to give people, like Rob's saying, that ripple effect for your family, your friends, your kids, whoever.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And we're all very thankful for you guys joining us live. And we wanted to, even if you didn't want the prize, which is usually $30, by the way, so it's 24 hours, you get access to it for free.
Which is unbelievable for what you get. That's $30, but
I know, right?
the meditation.
I'm excited for you guys to download it and practice the self-love practice. But also we wanted to weave in some teachings, because we know that regardless of if you're watching, if you're coming to a retreat, or if you're not, we know how important this work is. We know that even if just one thing landed for you guys today, that it's going to be profound, and it could just cause a ripple effect just from watching this live. Whatever it is that landed for you, we'd love to hear in the comments, like, what's your biggest takeaway from watching this live video? Even if you just write biggest takeaway and then whatever it is, we just really love that feedback. We love to hear what landed for you, and we just really want to see what ripple effect watching live has caused for you, even if it's not coming to the retreat, if it's not passing this message on, if it's not claiming that prize that you came here for, that you waited all night for, and you finally got word. It might just be the one thing that we said just really hit home for you, and has just made like a perception change, or changed the way you feel, or opened doors for you in some way. And that's why we love what we do, because one word, one sentence, one just paragraph could be the pivotal moment for you to change your life. And that is why we do what we do. And we just really love to hear from you what your biggest takeaway is in the comments. And we're just grateful that you guys showed up today to cause your own ripple effect in your life by watching this.
Love that. Couldn't have said it better myself. That was great.
Thanks, guys.
Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap it up?
No,
We love you guys. Thanks for watching.
we love you
Thank
all.
you.
Look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Beautiful. See you guys.
See ya.